Welcome to the Tumbleweed Podcast, where we discuss an eclectic range of topics, including business, design, Texas culture, and everything in between.
We're two teachers that turned a side hustle into a nationally known apparel brand, and now we work with some of the biggest names in Texas. We strive to never stop exploring and continue to draw inspiration from our adventures.
So drift and explore or raise a glass. We're always ready to hang out and talk about the things that we love. So come roll with us as we drift and explore. Hey, welcome to the Tumbleweed Podcast. I'm Brian Wysong.
And I'm Jeb Matulich.
We are the co-owners of Tumbleweed Textiles, and we are coming to you today just to do a little talking about just whatever we think of. No specific agenda today, but just kind of talking about where we're at in life and maybe some current events that we've been going through, and who knows what else. I don't know.
Right. Well, I think the biggest current event that we're going through right now is that I'm on summer break.
Man, how was that? Last day of school?
It was great. We wrapped it up. We had a half day on Friday, so had a little half day Friday, and then Brandon and I loaded up the van. Or I guess he already had it loaded up, but loaded up the van, and we headed down to College Station for Troubadour Fest.
Gig 'em.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But anyway, yeah, we did.
Well, so last day of school, I think everyone can probably remember when they're in school, that anticipation, that bell ringing, running out of school. Do you still get that excitement of the last day of school?
I guess I will say that this is my 27th last day of school as a teacher. So it's not as exciting as I think it used to be.
Okay.
Because we did a half day, and then I don't know if you remember when you were teaching, they like to do like a fire drill on the last day, and they like to say basically the alarm goes off and like 10 minutes before the bell rings, and then we have to evacuate everyone out of the building. And then they're like, all right, just go home. So they just send everyone home after that. It's a little anticlimactic.
Okay.
But like when I first started teaching, like in Garland, the last day of school was quite a big event.
Yeah.
In the middle school level down there. I mean, there was shaving cream wars. People were just throwing like binders of paper everywhere as they were leaving. It was a mess, basically what it was. So it was terrible.
I think it was the first year I was there. I just remember all the kids were out. They put on some music on the loudspeakers, and
right.
they started pushing a teacher down the hallway on one of those like computer desk chairs.
Oh, nice.
She totally ate it, But I just remember that sort of like how excited all the teachers were. It was summer.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying that we weren't excited, but it's just it's not like the big celebration that it used to be, or it seemed to be. Like I guess when we grew up, kids like speeding out of the parking lot and stuff. Because back then when I was in school, like you had like a final exam and like till the very end, and you took your final, and then it was like, yeah, I'm done, and then you're rolling out of there. But now it's just kind of,
I don't know why. I think it's Dazed and Confused I have playing in my head. School's out.
Oh yeah, I think they used to play that.
Yeah.
So we don't. It's not quite that. I don't know. At least it wasn't this year.
So last few years, last day of school as a teacher has been exciting because you get to leave school, but as Tumbleweed Textiles, we always have an event, typically that weekend.
Right.
You just mentioned College Station. What went down there?
Yeah, it was fun. So Brandon, our events manager, we loaded up the van and headed down to College Station Friday afternoon. And Brandon's an Aggie, so he was super pumped about going back to Aggie land. He was ready to kind of show me all his old stomping grounds and things like that. So we got down there, and it was really actually a cool setup. So it's Troubadour Fest, and I know you may have heard of us talk about that before, but they do one in Salina. Last year they did one in Tyler, and they also did one in Georgetown. This year I think they're just going to do one in Salina and then this College Station one. They were going to kind of see how it went. And from what I could gather, it was pretty much a success. But it's a really cool setup. They have a place called Aggie Park, and it's literally in the shadows of Kyle Field. So like our setup was like right across the street from Kyle Field. So it was giving us shade, half the day, which is really cool because that's thing's enormous. But yeah, we set up Friday night, and Brandon took me out to Wings and More because that's I guess where he used to work, and the guy we were staying with, he's a manager out there. So we did Wings and More, and then of course we had to hit the chicken.
Yeah.
And after that, so we went to the chicken, went to the dry bean saloon.
Nice.
Had a good night, and then it was fun though because we were out there. There's a lot of the barbecue guys were in the chicken and stuff hanging out that night, and so we were able to see a lot of people and hang out.
Horrible question. I'm a Red Raider, not an Aggie, so I have no clue.
Well, I'm a Red Raider too. You know that.
Oh yeah. So I've driven through College Station, never actually stopped and been in College Station. What is I love chimneys because I'm a Red Raider. What's so special about the chicken? Like,
there's a Chimneys in College Station too.
I do know that.
I saw it. The chicken is, I don't know, it's a cool place. And I know that if I had gone to A&M, that's basically where I probably would have spent the majority of my time outside of school. It's basically like an old honky-tonk in a way. It's like the old wooden floor, the old wooden tables. They got the old beer signs, the neons. I mean, it's just, they got the playlist rolling with the old style country. It's just like a cool, like, it epitomizes like Texas, like the stuff that I love and the stuff that we love. I mean, it's just like this, and it's not very big either. They got pool tables in the back. They got a couple bars. It's real laid back. It's just, there wasn't anyone playing dominoes, but I know it's a big deal there. Yeah. Maybe like when it's like in the afternoon and stuff. But
a lot of I know it's now summer, but college students, alumni, like just kind of a mix of everything.
There weren't as many college students, I wouldn't say, that were there. I'm sure there were some there, getting ready to start summer school or something, but it's mostly like young adults and people in the barbecue business and just locals, I would guess.
So Saturday, wake up.
So we had to regroup Saturday morning and headed out to our location there, and we got all set up. But if you don't know, like Troubadour Fest is really cool because it's like a combination of like the Texas barbecue scene and then also the Texas like music scene.
Right.
So like they kind of come together, and it's really neat because the way they had it laid out, the barbecue was all kind of on one side here, and then the stage. We had actually the Tumbleweed stage at the end of the barbecue area, which was really cool. And then just really nearby, just kind of catty corner to it, was the main stage, and there's a big old lawn with trees, surrounded by trees and stuff. And so we were set up, under the trees, and the barbecue was, you could smell it that morning when we got up there. It was so great. And so we were able to get set up in probably about an hour and 45 minutes or so, got everything set up, and then we were able to kind of get over to the barbecue joints. And,
that's cool.
And the cool thing about these places is that they do a lot of unique dishes that they maybe don't do at their regular restaurant. They maybe take one of their little specialties and then they kind of put a little twist on it. Yeah. And so they all have got small bites, and it's just basically all you can eat if you have the barbecue music ticket.
So I saw Reed Guest from Guest Barbecue in Waco. I saw one that he posted. It was his guacamole with a green apple, like in it. Like it's just things that are just totally different than the stereotypical Texas barbecue. Had that on top of, I think, a piece of brisket. What are some of the coolest things that y'all tasted that might have been out of the box?
Oh, wow. Out of the box. I really like, there's a place called Vaqueros.
Oh, yeah.
Barbecue, and they were just doing these like pork tacos. I mean, they were just like little street tacos. They were just so good.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there was a guy, I met him actually later in the day. His name was Sausage Sensei.
Yeah, I saw a picture of him.
And he was doing, did like a carne asada sausage, and he did like a peach cobbler sausage. I mean, it was just like, he's supposed to be like the best at sausage making in the whole state. And that's like what he specializes in. That was delicious. Oh my gosh. Fijis barbecue. He was doing like full on, like, I don't know what they were, like beef ribs, but like the bone was like a foot long, and like the meat, I mean, it was just incredible. Yeah. So it was, everything was great. I mean, the food I had was awesome.
And Tyler Sunbird, with Brian, I think they kind of won. I mean, if there was an award, he was definitely the one that he was doing these puff tacos. Oh, nice! That were just incredible.
Right.
So it's you walk away from these events, you taste things that you might have never tasted before. I saw you had, it was like was it grits? I don't know. It was like a bowl of something. I saw a picture on your Instagram.
It might have been that taco. It was just open faced. It looked like a bowl of something because it was actually just, it was open faced taco. You had to fold it up yourself.
Okay.
But there was like green sauce and stuff you could put on there. Well,
I know the great music. Uncle Lucius, I can't remember who was headlining it, but
Midland headlined it. Uncle Lucius, Shane Smith and the Saints,
Charlie Robison,
which is one of my favorites from back in the day, and then Treaty Oak Revival.
So tell us about. I've heard they're the new thing.
I'm telling you, if you're looking for a new band to follow in the Texas scene, Treaty Oak Revival might be somebody you might want to hone in on. They opened up the show, and they had a lot of good energy. They were fun to listen to. The crowd was really into it. I think they built up a pretty good following there in College Station because all the college kids were there like singing along. They knew every word, and so I was kind of like just getting introduced to these guys, and
that's cool.
I heard a lot of people say they might be the next bigger act.
Yeah. Well, I saw Matt Pittman from Me Church. He posted this might have been the best festival he'd ever been to. Like that specific one in College Station. Sound like Chase, Mark, all the guys did a really good job.
It was good, and I think a lot of it has to do with just the venue itself, just the compactness of it was a little bit tighter, and then but there were trees and there were pathways and cement, and like it was just laid out nicely. And then, like I said, about 5 o'clock, like Kyle Field was just casting a shadow, and
That's
so
cool.
like if it wasn't hot, it was like only in the 80s, but that even gave us a little bit more shade, and it was nice. It was a great day, and we had fun. We met so many fans that they were like excited, like especially like from the Houston area that don't ever get up to our store or been able to see us in person at events. They were super excited to.
Well, Brandon said y'all killed it with the our snap shirts. We've never taken those to events.
Right.
We always do our T-shirts, maybe hats, maybe scarves, or our bandanas. But I mean, that's a high-priced item. What was the feedback about our snap shirts?
Well, I think one thing, of course, all our snap shirts that we have left are all the Texas themed ones. So it's like the Texas silhouette or the Texas flag. And when you throw something like that in, like a festival that's all about Texas type of stuff, and we were basically the only ones selling that type of item. There were other people selling T-shirts and other people selling hats, but if you want a snap shirt or like a collared shirt, we were the ones that had that. And so I think that kind of set us apart and was able, it was a great deal. And Brandon, I give kudos to him for bringing those, and because we had a whole bunch to start with, and we came home with a whole lot of little.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Yeah, so it was fun.
So while y'all were down there eating your hearts out, Katie and I were down at Murphy, a beer fest, which I hadn't been there for a few years because you and Brandon have handled that.
Right.
But it historically has been my favorite event because you get to try all these new beers, check out new breweries. Wasn't quite the same as in the past or maybe I drank too much because I've had all the breweries. But there's just one out of Duncanville, Ghost something brewery, big bright yellow tent. But that was the new one. Great hazies, IPAs, and
nice.
But we had a good time. Same thing. I mean, we had a lot of success. It was kind of cool to see that beer community from the area, from Tups and Turning Point, and try to pick up some opportunities to create some custom shirts for them. And so it was a really good weekend representing our brand and Hustle and Tees.
I think when you think about like the beer community and then also like the barbecue community, there's a lot of like, I guess, common elements to both of those. I mean, it's kind of like a little family. Everyone knows everybody. There is an element of competition in a way, but if you're spread out throughout Texas, the people in Lubbock aren't competing with the people in Houston. It's like everyone's trying to do their own thing in their area. And then even if you are close by, I mean, you kind of have your own following and your fans, and, it's just competition as it is. But most people are really friendly and really helpful, and they want to, see each other, support each other and see each other win.
Yeah. Well, I think a good example of that is last week, Joe Zavala. He's been on one of our podcasts, one of our amigos, Zavala Barbecue in Grand Prairie. He drove up here to meet with me, but he wanted to meet over at Ernest B's Barbecue because he wanted to show support. And then Ernest couldn't be there, so he called his wife to talk to him, and he's down there this week checking out, Zavala Barbecue.
Oh, really?
So it's a whole different world, because they support each other, and there's friendly competition, but they all understand you rise with the tide, which kind of goes to, Joe just, big shout out to Joe launching the BBQ distro.
Right.
And it's like a speakeasy barbecue in the back of Moss Coffee down there. And kind of share what all does he have in his speakeasy?
Yeah, it's a really cool concept. I think it's kind of groundbreaking for like Texas stuff. I mean, Joe, we all love Joe. He's just a fun-loving guy. Everyone loves Joe. And so he's able to use that energy and reach out to all his friends throughout Texas, a lot of the top 50 joints, and say, hey, I want to have like one place kind of in the back of our coffee shop and have one place where someone can just, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, can come and like get a rub or a sauce from like somewhere from Lubbock or from Austin or Lockhart or Houston. He's gathering. It's kind of like a one-stop shop. He's done all the work as far as getting all the different brands there, and then it's like the mecca of barbecue sauces and rubs and all things barbecue in Texas. And it's a great idea, and he's like I said, able to convince his friends to wholesale his stuff to him. And
well, he has that monthly subscription. It's like, man, a membership box. And I first saw the price, I'm like, man, that's expensive. But when you stop and think about, you're not only are you getting this membership box of maybe a top 50 barbecue sauce, rub, maybe a shirt, maybe some stickers, but you're also going to get education access to videos and different things that you wouldn't get. And it's coming from him. Matt Pittman from Meat Church is a part of it, Nomad Grills, Lone Star Beer. So it's not only just a community of the barbecue joints, but it's also a community of them wanting to share their expertise to allow you to use it in your backyard and, bring that flavor to your house. It's, to me, a pretty incredible concept.
Yeah, it's a neat deal. I mean, if you think about the backyard barbecue guy, if they cook out a couple times a month, and they go through half or more than half of like a deal of rub, I mean, that's $10 right there.
Yeah.
Buy a bottle of sauce, that's $10, it adds up. But then if you just had a box just delivered to your doorstep the first of every month, and you've got a new sauce, a new rub that you can try out, and maybe some gear, some little, things like that, and then access to these classes and stuff. I think.
You can't even go to a barbecue joint right now and spend under $30.
Oh,
I mean, so when you really look at that monthly subscription, it's really not that bad of a deal.
Right.
And there's so much value to it. So shout out to Joe for that. Hopefully we get to design some cool stuff with him and with those guys.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah,
so definitely a good weekend of barbecue and beer for the Tumbleweed crew.
So, I mean, summer's here. But there's some other exciting stuff. I mean, there's some big news for you. I mean, you just got a new membership, right?
Oh, a huge news for me.
It's not a subscription
not a subscription box to Joe's distro, or the barbecue distro. That would be kind of cool.
You're going to go become the pickleball king.
I don't know if I'm going to become the pickleball king or not. But yes, I did. I did join the local, it's called the Grove in Frisco. You have to be 50 years old to get in. So I qualified just barely. So I joined that first thing Monday morning. Joined the Grove. It's $50 a year to be a member.
Yeah.
And so if you're a resident of Frisco, it's $50 a year. But it's a really neat place. It's kind of like they've got a gym, where they've got like ellipticals, they got all the weights, they got all the treadmills and that kind of stuff. They have pickleball, which is what I was kind of excited for. So play a little pickleball, work out in the gym. Like I said, you can't beat $50 a year. So it's kind of like my little treat to myself to get me up and going in the morning and go do something.
That's
but
cool.
Yeah, so I'm a member of
meet some new friends out there this morning.
I did. I made some new friends playing pickleball. So we'll see how it goes. They're a friendly crew, so they were all fun. I like it because everybody's pretty laid back and like, oh, great job, and real supportive and fun.
You're bringing in the young. It's like it feels good being the young person in the room.
Yeah, but
right?
I'll tell you what, those people that have been playing a while, it doesn't matter how old they are. Some of those people can play pickleball at any age. Now, the one thing that was a little bit tricky today was this is my first time to play outside. I'm used to playing inside in a gym, and so like the wind was kind of kicking up, and so we just play with like a little wiffle ball, and so that can really affect what you do with the ball. Yeah, you have to think about it. So it's a little bit tricky in the wind, but hopefully we'll get it down. But that was some exciting news. That's
Well, tomorrow, you and I are going to be rolling down to the new PGA Frisco, the KitchenAid Classic, I believe, Senior Championship, and another pretty cool deal is KitchenAid partnered with the PGA as their sponsor, and they hosted a competition in the heart of the rail district of Frisco where different businesses got to get a KitchenAid mixer and design it, paint on it, put stickers on it, whatever you want to do, and the winner would get tickets to go to the PGA competition, as well as their mixer would get to be displayed at the tournament this weekend.
Right.
And so each business had it's kind of like a popularity contest. Kind of felt like it was like being a senior in high school going for a prom king or queen. But you hustle your followers, your social media base, try to get followers, and it's pretty exciting. What's the big? You designed it. What did it look like? Cactus and cacti?
Well, first of all, we need to talk about we actually won.
Whoa.
So we did have the best stand mixer. So we won the competition. So yes, we are going to get a free stand mixer.
There you go.
For our team, which we'll figure out how to distribute that. But then we're also going to get a couple tickets to the Senior PGA Championship, which is cool. But yes, what did I do? I decided, since they were playing this here in Frisco, and it's the first, big major event that we're going to have at the new PGA course. This is kind of like the big grand opening of the PGA. I wanted to do something more Texas themed. Of course, that falls in line with the art that I like to do in our store. So I basically spray painted a Texas flag. So I basically took all the hardware and stuff off of it and taped it all up and did one half red, one half white, the back end, the blue, painted a big star on the back. So I kind of had a base of a Texas flag. And then I decided, well, what's kind of Texas-y, in the plant world, and I went to my go-to, the prickly pear.
Yeah.
So I did some prickly pear, kind of crawling up the sides and underneath, and that kind of deal. And then on the top, I did I did like a golf green, and I did one of the flags that they have out there at the new PGA course. So it's just kind of tied in golf, Texas, some Texas cactus, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I did a lot of work too. I went to Target and bought green paper.
Yeah, you bought some of that fake grass to put in the bowl. Hey, we're a team, man. Yeah. Everybody held a big
That's
part
right.
of it. And then McKenna photographed it. So like everyone in this room
That's right.
played a big role in that.
That's right.
Winning. So yeah, we were pretty proud of that winning. I think that's something we wanted to do, and so I was kind of excited that. But there's a lot of really good other ones too. So it was always fun to friendly competition.
It was fun. I think this one thing about at least you and I and most of the people on our team very competitive. So it was a lot of fun to do something a little different than try to hustle tees. It kind of gave us a little mission to accomplish.
I don't recommend painting on a stand mixer. It's not the easiest thing because
Yeah.
it's got some weird curves to it and stuff. So you can't quite get your hand steady. Yeah. But it worked out in the end.
But big weekend above that is just we're going to go out and you're going to get to go to 2 different golf events, but we're going to be out there tomorrow getting to watch some golf. John Daly, hopefully he makes it out there and is able to play. And
Ernie Els, DJ Singh, a lot of the old guys that I watched growing up as a kid will be playing on this or are playing on the senior tour. So it's kind of fun to have them just like literally 2 miles from our house, like just right down the road.
And I had to Google it because I was like, what makes it the senior championship? So I think you have to be 50 or older.
And I could play in that too.
You could. I mean, today's the day.
Dang.
Of this.
Pick up golf again.
And but then also, I think you had to win 4 PGA Championship or 4 PGA. So you have to win an amount of championships or golf tournaments.
Okay.
To be able to go here. So I didn't know. Had no clue.
Very cool. So yeah, that's a huge deal for Frisco. I mean, it's going to be we've been waiting on this day for years.
Yeah.
The city has. So and I'm excited to be out there on the first day and kind of see. I know they had the pro-am and stuff today, so it's already kind of getting kicked off. But Thursday will be a neat day for the city and kind of seeing that vision kind of come to life with those real tour pros playing.
Well, it's so fun. I've been out there, I guess now 5 times, but not necessarily the course. But there's a ice house that's up at the top of the hill that overlooks, and it's open to public when it's not, in competition. Pretty good barbecue, great beer on tap, and you can just sit up there overlooking the whole PGA golf course.
Yeah.
So they've done a great job putting that together and making it not only fun for those that are members and are part of the golf community, but even if you're just want to go free to the public and hang out, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think that's a cool thing. And any of you guys listening that live out of town, I think it's worth the trip up here to check it out if you have any interest in golf or love golf.
Yeah.
Because like Brian was saying, there's a lot of little restaurants and stuff that's all open to the public. And like you said, the ice house, there's like a huge putting green.
Right.
I don't know how many acres it is, but there's a huge putting green where you can bring your own putter. I think you can rent one for $5. You just get out there, let the kids putt around. You can hang out with the wife, sip on a drink, watch the sunset, and then they've also got a lit 9-hole, par 3 type of course where all you need is basically a pitch and wedge and a putter to play that. And I think it's I think if you're a resident of Frisco, it's like $20 or $30, and so it's a neat little deal. So it's not just like this exclusive club where you can't get in there and do stuff. There's a whole section that's open to the public that you can get out there and explore. And if you like golf, I mean, it's the place to be.
Yeah.
We're going to be there tomorrow. I'm excited.
All right. So totally random, but I don't know. You sharing that story, I started thinking about the ACMs and all the people that probably were up there staying at that hotel, Dolly, Garth, Brooke, so on. But pretty funny. So the 2 days up before the ACMs hit the Star in Frisco, they had 2 free nights where you can go and listen to some live music. And I was able to go up there the first night. You went up there the second night.
Right.
And you kind of told me a story about these 2 guys that dressed up with their chains. And
there were 3 of them, actually.
3 of them. Tell us a little bit about these models that were kind of trying to be fake whoever.
It was a cool experience. That's another great thing in Frisco that we had the ACMs here. really neat experience. Now, the people that were playing I guess it was on Wednesday night when I went, I didn't know any of them.
Yeah.
But they're kind of more the mainstream Nashville kind of up-and-coming stars, which I'm not in tune with a lot of that. I know Randall King played Tuesday night, the night
awesome.
You went, and he's a good old West Texas boy, Red Raider. I couldn't make it out that night, but you got to see him. But, yeah, it was kind of fun. It was a really laid-back deal. You know, they had lawn chairs. They had little bars open. They had the music on the main stage.
Right.
They had the big screen going, and they had vendor booths and just a lot of, like, games and activities and stuff. But, it was kind of funny because there were 3 guys dressed like Parker McCollum, basically. They had blue jeans on. They had white T-shirts on. They had, like, gold chains and had, like, black cowboy hats. Or not cowboy hats on, but just baseball hats. Like, I guess they were like paid models or they work in whatever. They all kind of look like Parker McCollum, but they weren't. But the funny thing is, a lot of people didn't know, and I think their shtick was, like, hey, one of us might be Parker McCollum, and so they were going around and people were taking pictures with these guys and like left and right, and then people were like, well, who's that? Why are they getting? Then they thought they were somebody big and they were going over there getting pictures with them. Yeah. And then one lady, she would not believe me. She's like, "Is that Parker McCollum?" I'm like, "No, ma'am, it's not. It looks like some other people." She's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "I'm pretty positive." She's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yes, that's not." She's like, "Well, I'm going to take a picture just in case." I'm like, "Well, fine, whatever. Just don't believe me, but that's not Parker McCollum. He's not walking around with 2 other dudes dressed like himself."
Well, the fun is the night before, Melody of Hope, we had one of our musicians outside one of the businesses just playing acoustic set, and it was right next to Lucchese. And that night, Lucchese did sponsored I guess his
new album
release party. So Parker had a video crew following him as they were getting footage of the night of his release. And so he was actually truly there walking around. And he went up to this one of our musicians and was like, "Hey, like, I am so-and-so." And the guy that is our musician was like, "Oh, yeah, I know who you are." And so then they started interviewing him, asking him questions like, "So what's your favorite Parker McCollum song?" And long story short, this musician had no clue who he was, and he couldn't tell him a song, couldn't sing a song. And so it was like this awkward moment because they're video recording it for their footage, and they just kind of awkwardly walked away. And
interesting, that's fun.
Which is weird that someone that age or that 23 to 25 wouldn't know who he is, but But
I think that's another reason that these guys were getting so much fanfare, because there was a film crew following the 3 guys. Mm-hmm. I think it was just all kind of promotional type of deal. So they were like, why is the film crew? Why are they filming these guys? Who are they? They must be famous.
Well, next year we're going to dress up like Willie.
Yeah, there you go.
We're going to walk around and maybe people think.
Oh, boy. So it was fun. Yeah, Frisco has been our month, man. May has been crazy for this town. Yeah. I mean, the ACMs, now the PGA stuff, that's where it's going down in this city right now. We got it going on. It's fun.
And the summer. What do you got ahead? I know summers are big for your family. You travel a bit, not necessarily in detail, but what are some of your destinations this summer?
Well, we go to Colorado every summer. Yeah. So we'll be going the same trip in Colorado. We usually go in June, which we'll be doing this year too. So we go to Colorado. We go up to the headwaters of the Rio Grande, kind of near Creede, Colorado. Mm-hmm. We've been going there in some capacity as a family since like 1980. Wow. So there were some years where I didn't go, like when I was in high school and stuff, because I stayed home and worked. But like once Carrie and I got married, we kind of made a point to try and make it back there. And there were a couple of years when our kids were born and stuff, like we couldn't get out there a year or two. But like pretty much ever since then, we've gone every summer. Yeah. So we go up there, we do some fishing, do some hiking. It's just kind of a good getaway. There's no cell service. That's the only thing. My daughter does not like that. She does not like not having Wi-Fi for a week. But
I don't like it either. I can't get a hold of you.
Yeah. So, if we go in town, you can get cell service, and like your phone just starts like the notifications just start blowing up for like 40 minutes straight. It seems like there's ding, 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 ding. Stuff just happening. But anyway, it is kind of nice to get away. And then we do that, and then we'll probably plan a trip to New Braunfels sometime around the 4th or in July sometime. And then we usually in the summer we go down to 30A, down to Santa Rosa Beach, Blue Mountain Beach, and go with my wife's parents and her sister and their family, and we do a little beach trip to wrap it up right before school. Because school starts so early. We get out so early, but school starts so early. Like we start back, like I think the first day of school is August the 9th. Right. And so it wraps up pretty quick. And then,
we're head out to Denver to see Audrey, our family.
Oh, fun.
Probably not a whole lot of exciting things. When they have 3 kids, we have 3 kids. You can't do a whole lot, but we'll probably go to the Red Rocks, do a little hiking, small hiking for a 3-year-old can handle. Probably go to a couple of breweries. And I know it's crazy. I love Colorado, but one of my favorite things is just stopping in Lubbock on the way, spending a night there, showing my kids where Dad used to do life. And I think we may try to do a weekend either in Bastrop at the
Lost Pines. Lost Pines.
Just something that kind of affordable and just a little getaway to have a little fun. They have a cool lazy river and stuff. And of course, my in-laws live in Round Top, so we'll probably try to get away for a weekend there as well. But
that'd be good.
For you, as you we talk about these stories, music and barbecue, golf. We have a lot of cool stuff, and it seems like for you, a lot of your cool designs and stuff come after these summers. Do you feel like it's because you go through the travel and time to you unplug, you get more inspired, with future designs that we do for Tumbleweed?
Yeah, I think for sure. I mean, I'm always looking for new inspiration. I think being on the road and traveling gives me that, because we're going to go into little souvenir shops and little trendy shops, wherever we go, and just picking up little tidbits of, oh, I like that color. I like those colors together. Oh, I like that font. What could I do with kind of, and I'll go back and sketch it up on my iPad or sketch something up in my sketchbook, and just even on the road, just driving, just like whether it's a sign or like a name or just the landscape, just something that maybe will kind of pique my interest. And
I've always been a little frustrated with you because you get away, and I'm like, man, like I want to get away, and I know we're different. Here in a couple of years, I'll be where you were then, so like my kids will be old enough and we'll travel. But I've learned a lesson from that is how important unplugging is. And that's what Hill and I, my wife and I, are kind of committed to this summer, is try to find about 3 windows of time that we completely unplug.
Yeah.
And so, because like I said, it seems like when you come back from being unplugged, you knock out designs and work, and just getting away gets you inspired.
Yeah, it's kind of just a good refresh, I think. For sure. I mean, even just the weight of not just knowing that you don't have to go to school every day.
Yeah.
That I don't have to be there at 8:30, and I have to, have my 30-minute. There's just that. If that's gone, and then I'm able to get out of town, I just think there's just kind of a weight off my shoulders, and I feel like a little bit more relaxed and open to exploring some of the ideas that maybe I've had throughout the year or I'm getting more recently.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, for us, it's just, man, my daughter, Hannah, she's going to middle school next year.
That's crazy.
It's insane. That's, with her having her special needs, that's scary. Because you just like new school, new people.
Yeah.
You just make sure that hopefully those people will take care of her.
Right.
But she's going to a school that, we know the principal real well.
Mm-hmm.
So he better protect her,
Oh, yeah. I'm sure she'll be fine. It'll be good.
So, but yeah, I just wanted to chat, connect. If anything, we walk away, maybe people learned a little bit about a few new barbecue joints to stop by. And, we challenge y'all to unplug and have a good time. Tune in, stop by our store, and check out Zavala Distro, BBQ Distro. Give them a little plug. And but yeah, anything else you got?
No, I mean, it's a good one. I mean, I love just shooting the bull, talking a little bit, seeing what's up.
Yeah.
Current events. Well, like I said, we've had a lot on our plate in the city right now, and it's only going to get better. And just kind of excited about what the future holds and all the fun things that are coming to town and to our state.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Well, thank y'all for tuning in. If you have a chance, follow, check us out on social media at Shop TWT or our store at TWT Frisco. Share some love, and hopefully y'all have a great summer. Thank y'all.
See you guys.